In this episode, I'll show you how I mounted the modules of my multi-level layout on the wall, how I made the shelf height fully adjustable, and how I used electrical terminal blocks to distribute power to the track. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. In my previous video, I introduced the overall concept of the layout I'm building. The main features are a shelf layout running around the room, multiple levels, a modular design, swing gates for easy access to the center of the layout, a helix connecting all the levels. To support the layout, I'm using a standard shelving system from a local DIY store. The wall rails are 2 meters long and are mounted 22 centimeters above the floor. Most of the rails are spaced 60 centimeters apart, but around the window I adjusted the spacing to match the width of the window sashes. This means that once the layout modules are removed, both sides of the window can still be opened without any obstruction. In this area, the spacing varies between 70 centimeters and 100 centimeters, so I'll be building those modules with a little extra reinforcement. Under the sloping ceiling, the spacing is reduced to 40 centimeters. Each rail is securely fixed to the wall with wall plugs and screws every 20 centimeters, making the whole support system extremely rigid. One of the biggest advantages of this shelving system is its flexibility. The brackets can be fitted every 5 centimeters, allowing the layout levels to be mounted anywhere between 30 centimeters and 220 centimeters above the floor. The brackets are available in several different lengths: 12, 17, 22, 27, 37, and 47 centimeters. For most of the layout, I'm using the 37 centimeters brackets, while the wider sections will be supported by the 47 centimeters ones. I'm building all of the layout modules from 10 mm plywood. The first prototype modules measure 90 centimeters in length, 30 centimeters in width and 11 centimeters in depth. After building a few of those, I reduced the module depth to 8 centimeters, and I think that's the design I'll be sticking with for the rest of the layout. Even at that depth, they are still plenty rigid. So, what makes these modules different from a more conventional design? A typical module is built with a top panel and 4 side panels, forming a completely enclosed box. I decided to leave out the rear panel, the one facing the wall. This allows each module to sit neatly on the wall brackets without anything getting in the way. To make up for the missing panel, I reinforced the modules with 20 by 20 mm timber battens. Besides adding plenty of strength, they also create a 20 mm gap between the brackets and the underside of the module, giving me a convenient space to run all the wiring. To save both time and effort, I ordered the plywood pre-cut to size, so assembly simply involved gluing the parts together with wood glue. I've also left a gap of about 9 centimeters between the modules and the wall. This space is reserved for the shelving rails and the cable trunking that will carry the DCC wiring. The wall rails take up around 12 mm, while the cable trunking currently requires another 25 mm. Once the layout is complete, however, all of this technical infrastructure will disappear behind the back scene, leaving only the railway visible. I've chosen a vertical spacing of 40 centimeters between the levels, which gives me enough room to install up to 6 levels. The 3 main levels, located at 66, 106 and 146 centimeters above the floor, will carry the visible main line tracks. The shelves below and above them will be used for hidden staging and reversing loops. As I showed in the previous video, levels 0 and 1 are positioned so they can be comfortably viewed while sitting down. Level 2, on the other hand, is designed to be viewed while standing. With the modules being 8 cm deep, the clear vertical clearance between the levels will be about 32 cm. I also plan to install LED strip lighting underneath each module, so that every level will illuminate the one below it. To keep the wiring organized, I made a number of plywood distribution boards and mounted them directly onto the walls using wall plugs and screws. These boards give me a convenient place to install all the electrical components, including the DCC command station, terminal blocks, occupancy detection modules, and any other electronics the layout needs. Everything is simply fixed in place with shortwood screws, making it easy to add, remove, or rearrange components whenever necessary. I've installed 4 main distribution boards, one on each wall, all positioned below level 1. The board on the north wall houses the DCC command station. From there, the DCC power bus runs to the other 3 main distribution boards using 1.5 mm squared cable. In addition to these main boards, each layout level on every wall has its own local distribution board. From these, power is fed to the individual track blocks using 0.5 mm squared track feeders. To keep everything neat and easy to maintain, all the wiring runs through 25 by 25 mm slotted cable trunking. As I mentioned earlier, once the layout is finished, all of the wiring and electronics will be completely hidden behind the back scene. I've also started building the timber stud wall that will support the next section of the layout. Just like the walls of the room, this framework will be fitted with short shelving brackets, which will carry a series of narrow shelves for the railway tracks. The stud wall will also incorporate a pair of swing gates, allowing easy access to the center of the layout without having to duck underneath. Building these gates will be one of the more challenging parts of the project, as they need to be both strong enough to support the track and accurately aligned every time they are closed. In the next few videos, I'll show you how the stud wall and the swing gates come together as the project moves forward. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it useful. Next time, I'll be building the next batch of layout modules, including the first 90-degree corner module. The layout is slowly taking shape, one module at a time, and there's still plenty more to come. Until next time, take care, and thanks for following the journey.